Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well. This is your match preview for Krasnodar versus Chelsea in the UEFA Champions League, and I don't know what to expect from this one. Our second match day. How do we approach this? Because let's be honest here, yeah? I'm going to be completely frank with all of you. I know absolutely nothing about Krasnodar. Nothing. And I know 99.9% of you are in exactly the same boat as me. Unless you are Russian, you don't know anything about Krasnodar. When I saw their name pop up in the Champions League draw, I was thinking, who are these new lads on the scene? Who are these new boys? I don't know a damn thing about Krasnodar. All I know is that they managed to qualify to the Champions League by finishing third in the Russian League last season. They currently sit 8th in the Russian League, I believe it is. I think it's 8th. But that's all I know. That's all I know. Oh, and they have a player called Ramirez who scored in their last game against Rennes, when Rennes played Krasnodar, and it finished 1-1. Here's my thing, yeah? I don't want to underestimate Krasnodar. Because I know a lot of people are going to be saying, this is going to be a walk in the park. This is going to be a piece of cake. We are playing a bunch of farmers, yeah? I can hear it already. I know a lot of you, and be honest, you are thinking that if you're not saying it already. You are thinking we're playing against a bunch of farmers. They're all probably semi-pro. They don't know what they're doing. We're going to kill them 10-0. I know, and that is the general consensus. Why? Just because we are Chelsea Football Club. We are a giant of European football, yeah? Or, you know, maybe not a giant, but we are one of the big boys. We are one of the top teams in the competition. I just want to put it out there. If a team is qualifying and making the last 32 of the Champions League, they're no mugs. They should be taken seriously, and they have quality there. And when you look at the game against Rennes, that is a game where, you know, Rennes, you expect Chelsea to beat as well, but they are a good team, a good standard. And even they couldn't beat Krasnodar, and that finished 1-1. So there's one story that pops to mind every time a team that I want to win plays against a really small team, and I see everyone completely writing that team off. One story comes to mind, and it's a story that I pretty much grew up hearing because of who I am. In 1982, the World Cup, West Germany, at the time West Germany, but Germany, played against Algeria in the first group stage game. Algeria were the new boys, not like now, not like everyone knows who Mahrez is, and everyone knows who Ben Nasser is, and everyone knows who Brahimi is, and like, you know, Algeria didn't have any names at that time. No one knew who the hell we were. Like, first time qualifying to the World Cup, we were completely written off by everybody. They're from Africa. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to play football. You know, this is going to be a walk in the park. And even the German players at the time, Rummenigge, Beckenbauer, Hubesch, their striker, number 9, publicly came out and said, I am going to score. I think he said, I'm going to score 5 goals. I'm going to score 1 for me, 1 for my wife, 1 for my mum, 1 for his brother or his sister. And he said he's going to score 1 for his dog. He said that publicly. Back then, everyone was savage back then, yeah? What happened? Germany lost 2-1. You can't underestimate a team you just don't know about. Now, if you know about them and they are poor, that's a different story. Krasnodar, I can't tell you. I honestly, I don't know a thing about them. So I am not going to write them off, and I think we need to take the game semi-seriously. But we need to think of the Premier League, and we need to think of the mileage, us travelling all the way to Russia and all the way back, and then in a matter of days we have to play Burnley. We're playing Burnley on the weekend, so it's going to be tight. Wednesday, Premier League really should have thought about that one, by the way. I just want to put that out there. We are playing on a Wednesday away in Russia, and now we have to play on a Saturday at 3 o'clock. Very poor by the Premier League, but then again, we're not new to that, are we? That's happened in the past multiple times. Jose Mourinho will give you a book of all the accounts, the amount of times we got done by the Premier League. But anyway, team news. Thiago Silva did not travel. Why? Because we went to flipping Russia. And Thiago Silva, if he travels, he can't play. It's as simple as that. So he stayed at home. That way he will be available for the Burnley game. Apart from that, Everyone's fit, everyone's travelled. Kepa is the only one that's missing, along with Billy Gilmore. Kepa still has that little shoulder problem. I know some of you will be pleased to hear that, but yeah, he won't be featuring at all. And no, Petr Cech is not in the squad. Now, before I get into who my starting 11 would be, I want to point out one little thing which I just found fantastic. When Frank Lampard showed up to the press conference earlier today, which was in Russia, obviously, because they've landed in Russia, a Russian journalist asked him a very interesting and very valid question, and I commend that journalist. I don't know his name, I don't know who he is, but you, sir, are what I call a journalist. Well done to you, and thank you very much. He asked Frank Lampard, "Why are you late?" What a question. Absolutely fantastic. What a question. Why? Because Frank Lampard was late. Again, he's late to every single press conference. I am telling you, if Frank Lampard was not attending press conferences and he was at school, he would be getting half-an-hour detentions by now, because that's how many times he has been late. Frank Lampard, mate, you have got to start showing up punctual. You really do. This is turning into a farce. It starts at 5:30. All right, I'll show up at 6 o'clock. I mean, what's that about? Come on, Lamps, come on. Anyway, that journalist, he deserves a raise. Fair play to him. Now, who would be in my starting 11? This is how I would set Chelsea up tomorrow. Obviously, taking into context rotation, the game against Burnley, I am trying to minimalise the amount of first-team players that I know are going to play against Burnley. I'm trying to rotate as much as possible because I do believe no matter what 11 we put out on the pitch, we should still have a standard that's good enough to beat Krasnodar. Not batter Krasnodar, just win the game. Yeah, we should, realistically. So, taking that into context, this is how I would start. Mendy in goal, because even though there's mileage and whatnot, Mendy, he's come back, he's looking fitter. I just think minutes would be good for him, and he's in goal. If he was an outfield player, I would understand, but he's in goal, so I think he needs to play. He'll be fine for Burnley. I would go for 4-3-3 this time, and I'll explain why. I would go Aspilicueta right back, not Reece James. Reece James played fantastic against Manchester United, I have to say. The defence played really well. And Reece James, 2 games on the bounce now, has done really well. So I want to save him for Burnley. And I would start to consider putting him as our first choice right back, even though Aspilicueta is the captain. But Reece James is starting to, I think, hopefully come out of his shell. And that's why I would play Aspilicueta for tomorrow's game against Krasnodar. And he offers that bit of stability. You can rely on Aspi. So Emerson, I would go left back, just as the standard fullback that we have. I just want to go with Emerson just for some defensive stability and not to underestimate Krasnodar altogether. The 2 centre-backs, now, Lampard did mention this about Rudiger and said that Rudiger has trained very, very well. He's on very good terms and he is in contention to get back into the team. I would consider playing Rudiger tomorrow, alongside Fikayo Tomori. Tomori needs football now. He needs football and he needs an opportunity. So that's why I would play him tomorrow, alongside Antonio Rudiger. Let's give him the opportunity to see if he can bounce back, if he can be the defender that he once was, because he's looked all over the place and he's definitely not my first choice. But if I am going to play him in a game this season, it would be a game like against Krasnodar. So I would put them two together as a centre-back pairing and rest Kurt Zouma and give him a bit of time to breathe. Now, 4-3-3, Jorginho would be the man that I stick as the deep-lying midfielder. I wouldn't go with 2 simply for rotation, because there's not really much that we can rotate with. What's Mount going to play next to Jorginho or Kovacic, for example, in a pivot? No. We don't have anyone else. Billy Gilmore is the man that I would have considered, but I wouldn't do that. Jorginho and Kovacic next to each other would mean that we have to play a number 10. And I want to rest Kai Havertz. So this is why I would go with 4-3-3 to accommodate the choices that we have in terms of rotation. So Jorginho, in front of him, I would go with the 2 midfielders of Mason Mount and Mateo Kovacic. Let's give Kovacic a run of football. He's just been on the bench, not playing. I mean, he needs to play. So Kovacic would be a prime, fit, fresh option alongside Mason Mount in his position. This is clear. This is why I would play a 4-3-3 as well. Mount will get to play in his position, which is a number 8 role. Box to box, necessarily, but a box to box in front of the deep-lying midfielder. Let him do what he does best, like he did last season in that position. So I would go Mason Mount and Kovacic. Left wing, I would go Hudson-Odoi. He needs football as well. He's been completely phased out. I don't understand why in the absence of Ziyech, but Hudson-Odoi just hasn't seen any football, and I think he needs to play. So this is a good opportunity for Hudson-Odoi to show us what he can do. On the right wing, I would play Ziyech to start. Maybe to come off later. But to start, let's start Ziyech and see how he fares. He needs the minutes. Even if it's travel back from Russia and then he plays against Burnley, now he's in a stage where he needs the minutes and he needs to play. He's fit. He needs to start. There's no preseason. He needs to start playing. So even if he doesn't play the full 90 tomorrow, I would want him to start the game. Get him off when hopefully we've settled the game and it's under wraps, and then we can offer him that little bit of rest, let everyone travel back, and then he'll be in contention for the game against Burnley. And up front, I would go with Tammy Abraham. Let's give Tammy an opportunity as well. He hasn't seen much. He's only come on for the last 5-10 minutes of each game recently. And yeah, it would be nice for Tammy to have a run. He's obviously our next choice, number 9. So in the absence of Timo Werner, we call Tammy Abraham. And I know some of you would say, no, play Giroud. I would probably bring Giroud on. But the realistic situation is at Chelsea, Tammy Abraham is the next in line. And he's the fresher option. We need to try and nurture a bit from Tammy Abraham and to try and get him up to the next level, because Giroud's time is about to come to an end. And I think we all know that. So Tammy Abraham, we need to focus on a little bit more. And that is why I would start with Tammy. That would be my starting 11. Now, in terms of a prediction, I will go with, hopefully, a comfortable Krasnodar 0, Chelsea 3. Hopefully. Anything less than that, I am cool with. All I want is for us to win. That's it. Score some goals. It's been a lot of minutes since we've last scored a goal. And I'm hoping that we can hopefully score tomorrow, win the game, fly back and get ready for Burnley. Hopefully wrap up 3 points and make it a little bit easier after our draw against Sevilla. Anything other than that would be a huge shock. And it would be a little bit of a worry for me. If we don't beat Krasnodar, don't get a good result, I will be a little bit concerned at this point. So, yeah, let's wait and see what happens. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you agree? Do you disagree with the starting 11, with the prediction? Let me know how you would set the team up and what predictions you would go with. I'd love to hear it. Hit the subscribe button if you are new. Hit the notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded. Follow me on Twitch. I done a stream earlier on. That was fun. We tried Among Us. Didn't quite work out. But I will be setting up a private lobby with friends and other content creators. And we will be playing Among Us. And that will be my next stream. So look out for that. Follow me on Twitch if you aren't already, and I'll see all of you tomorrow after the game. Just to let you guys know, kickoff is early. It's 5 to 6 p.m, so 5:55 p.m. UK time. It's an early kickoff tomorrow because we are playing in Russia. So do not miss it and think that we're kicking off at 8 o'clock, because the game would have finished by then. So make sure you don't miss it. Anyway, I'll see you after it's all said and done. Thank you so much for watching. Look after yourselves. Have a good one. Take care and peace.